I have something for you. Our very first radionuclide learning game. Very proud to announce that you can buy it starting from, well, now in the English version. And these are the learning cards, and they are finally printed, and I'm excited. We have been working quite a few months and waiting also quite a few months for it to finally be printed. This is a learning game which you can either play as a head-to-head type showdown, who has the highest value on the categories type game, or you can just play it as a normal quartet, because you get 32 playable cards which are subdivided into 8 different quartets from the different fields where these 32 radionuclides, which we have illustrated, fit into quite well. Well, who are we? Well, with we, I mean me and Clarence. Clarence is a PhD student and he's our technetium chemist. And for some reason, he not only is very good when it comes to technetium chemistry, but he also taught himself how to use Adobe Illustrator, and he made these wonderful characters. They are not AI designed. They are hand-drawn with a bit of brain work and a lot of thinking on how can we reflect the application of a given radionuclide in a neat little character design. Like here, for example, Neptunium is, well, Neptune, you know? This is a fully playable card based on scientific data. So with my professor, we scrolled through the database and looked through which are the scientific data that our students at the university need to learn, and which of them gives good values for a playable card game. And it boiled down to half-life. Of course, everybody needs to know the half-life of a radionuclide, the decay energy, the number of gamma lines that it has, the year of discovery, just to add a bit of history into that game, and the cross-section. And by cross-section, we mean the neutron capture cross-section with thermal neutrons. The 32 cards are subdivided into either the decay gods, right? We have Neptunium, thorium, uranium, and the other uranium decay chain. Then we have the exotic radionuclides like organesson, astatine, thorium-229M, and beryllium-8, for example. We also have the cosmogenic radionuclides, then the medical important radionuclides, the geochemistry relevant radionuclides, the nuclear accident radionuclides, the radiogenic radionuclides, and then we have the artificial radionuclides. For example, these include technetium-99, americium-241, and californium-252. I can almost expect at least one comment. My favorite radionuclide is in there. Trust me, we had like days worth of debating which radionuclides we need to implement into this game, and heartbreakingly enough, we had to decide on these 32 very important radionuclides, but there are so many radionuclides with cool, interesting stories to choose from. We are open for an expansion pack if this sells well. So, of course, there are enough stories for at least 32 other radionuclides, but for now we settled for these 32 radionuclides, which you can now learn. The card is composed of the symbol for the group that the radionuclide is in, the name and the mass of the radionuclide. Then we also have on the top left the excerpt of the chart of nuclides to, well, learn that. It's a learning game for students and for chemists and pretty much everybody else who's into that kind of stuff. Then you have the playable data, which are scientifically accurate. And then you have a little 7-line text describing the application and kind of also explaining you how we went with the character design and what kind of Easter eggs we have reflected in the character design. So if you're wondering, why is this polonium guy holding a cigarette? If you read the text, you'll know, unless you already know it, right? Sometimes the nuclear data do not overlap perfectly, so this is why we added an abstract on my website, Simons Chemiebaukasten. This is where you can also purchase the card game. A little text where we went through our thought process with literature and explained why we chose, for example, that cross-section for iodine 131, for example. This game has been out in the German version for the last, I think, 2 months or so, and we ordered 500 of these, and we sold about 300 so far, which is awesome. And now that we have sold enough German copies, we were able to order double that, so 1,000 copies of the English first print run. It's also called First Wave. And these are now available for anyone who lives inside of Europe, plus Switzerland. Of course, we are definitely planning to expand our shipping to worldwide shipping, so including US and UK, for example. But now for the next 3 weeks or so, we wanted to first test how shipping within Europe goes. How's your feedback on the shipping transaction? How's shipping doing in general? And if everything works well, we will expand our shipping area to worldwide as soon as possible. But it might cost a few dollars more because overseas shipping is quite expensive. If you are based in Germany, but you want to order the English version, which already includes shipping within Europe, please send me a mail telling me that you are from Germany and you have a German address, and we can lower the shipping cost because national shipping costs, of course, much less than international shipping. So I hope you are just as excited about this card game as I am and Clarence is. And we are already working on the next game, learning and teaching about radioactivity. And if everything sells well, we hopefully will be able to make an expansion pack to this version. With that being said, thank you for your attention and goodbye.